that one!
Men, let's get that hostage out of there! Be advised, Officer Fraser.
There's always a tease, isn't there? At Dinosaurs, every single Battlefield game, there's always a hint. Welcome everybody to another video full of exclusive Battlefield Hardline content. Right now, you'll gaze longingly at the map Derailed, formerly known as Eastside by the way, running the rescue game mode. And later on, you'll get the chance to see some more heist action, but this time on the map Riptide. But who cares about that, right? Because I know the only reason you're here is to see those masks again, isn't it? Yeah, it is, alright. I won't hold it back any longer. Here's another look. There's a few things worth mentioning about these masks. First of all, they're really cool. But they aren't just for show. Well, they are, to an extent, but you have to sacrifice something to make yourself look like a super hungry wolf or a badass dinosaur. These things take up a gadget slot. That's right. If you want to be the swag master of the server, you're going to have to give up something that could potentially be of benefit to you, like a grappling hook or a zipline. It's a make or break decision really, and perhaps I didn't employ it very well considering I chose to wear the mask in a 5v5 competitive game mode, but that's just how I roll. Also, I asked the devs how you get your hands on these things, but they wouldn't tell me. They kept that information really closely guarded, they wouldn't budge on it. So I guess we'll have to wait and see in the final release how we unlock these things. Or maybe they'll act the same way as the Syndicate weapons where you don't know what you have to do to unlock them. We'll just have to wait and see. And these masks are just another great quirky feature of the game. Like the flipping bird spotting animation where you stick your middle finger up at a cop, or the reload animations for all the weapons in the game. It looks like that extra development time went to good use in many different ways. Not only has the game moved forward leaps and bounds in terms of stability and unique identity, but some super cool stuff got thrown in there too. Right then, time to get a little bit more serious now. I didn't get a huge amount of time on these two maps. Whilst I was at EA Redwood Shores back in January, we got whisked away up to the Origin offices for maybe an hour or so to play these maps and modes on fully equipped 4K capable machines. That's right, i7s, 780 Ti's and 4K G-Sync monitors in all their glory. My god did that game look good. Obviously, I dropped the res down to 1080p to keep file size down, etc. There's only so many terabyte hard drives I can carry at once. Derailed was a really nice map for rescue. Plenty of ground cover in the train yard out the front, solid cover too, besides the gaps under the trains where I got killed through most of the time. You can get onto the roof via a rear and front ladder, which gives you a great overview of oncoming cops trying to get to the hostages inside the building. You do have to be very careful though, as once you're up there you can be very exposed. But it does make for a great escape route if you're one of the cops who's got hold of one of the hostages. If you have the zipline equipped, get yourself up onto the roof, fire a zipline down to the extraction zone, and you can fast track your way to a win for your team. Most of the matches we played went to the wire, like ending in 3-3 decider matches. It's a really tense game mode, and really works well if you've got 4 other mates willing to squad up with you, because communication and callouts are key in this game mode. The callouts will come with time once you get to know the map layouts and object locations, but you really do need to be communicating with everybody on your team at the same time. And that's what makes it just really tense, because if somebody dies, they're instantly reacting, telling you where somebody is. You've got the chance to try and go and take them out, or do you take the risk and go for the prize? The other map, Riptide, couldn't be more different to Derailed. This map is much more open. We didn't get a chance to fully experience the whole map in the closed playtest we were in, as Heist only uses a fairly small section of the map in its entirety. But as the expanse around the main building where the 2 objectives are located, it was pretty sparse in terms of cover, so you had to move really fast. Once you got inside the building, however, vertical gameplay was the main concern. There were lots of ledges that people could be hiding on and lots of openable and closable doorways, so just like we had on the bank job map, loads of those doorways that enemies could be hiding behind. It was a really tense location to play on, but once you did get hold of the objective, of course you had to go back out into the open again, and if you've killed a few enemies they could have respawned by then and can easily kill you as you try and make your way to the extraction point. One thing I will say about Heist though, is that it's a really good game mode, and I think it works even better in like a small scale 5v5 scenario. In the footage here it was 5v5, we were still playing in the Origin room at this point, and that's the same room we were playing the competitive hostage game mode on. And it didn't feel underpopulated. It brought back memories for me of Squad Rush from Bad Company 2. Now it's often said that the map design within Bad Company 2, at least for the Rush maps, is some of the best in the Battlefield franchise. And not all game modes in Battlefield titles need to have 32 or 64 players to be fun. 5v5 gave Heist a much harsher feel, where each death felt like a huge loss to your team. If your squad got wiped, then you had to start all over again. You couldn't rely on maybe 10 or more friendly players being behind you. It was basically you and your 4 other players in a squad. It was really fun to play. As I said, it felt really harsh and really brutal as a game mode. Both of the maps that we played turned out to play really well in the playtest. I actually had the chance to play Conquest and Hotwire on Riptide in a previous event, and that played really well too. Somebody who likes the open expanse, if you played Dust Bowl in the recent beta, it's a little bit like that, but just imagine the open nature of the map and you've kind of got the same idea for Riptide. The same goes for Derailed as well. We got to play Conquest and Hotwire on that too. The Los Angeles Storm Drain section of that map led to some really frantic action. And of course, we're only about a month away from the release of Battlefield Hardline. It's hard to believe that actually, because it was New Year not very long ago, and people were saying, oh, it's still 3 months before this game comes out, why can't they just release it now? Well, we are only 1 month away from the final release. For those of you who have EA Access on the Xbox One, you'll get the option to play this game a little bit earlier than anyone else. If you're subscribed to EA Access, you'll know that certain games that EA release get sort of like an early access 6-hour period on that platform. So you will have 6 hours worth of playtime up to 5 days earlier than the rest of the world will get a chance to play. I, for one, have now got myself an Xbox One just so that I can have that early access. Plus, I guess it makes sense for me as a YouTuber with a fairly substantial channel to have a next generation console, just in case I ever needed it. So if you are on Xbox One, you will get a little bit earlier access than some other people. It's only for 6 hours though, so it's not like it's a massive period of time. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the footage that I've put on display for you guys today. If you did enjoy the video, leave a rating and a comment, that'd be much appreciated. But until next time, my name is Westy, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.